I have already given you some of the useful information that you can use to avoid the people or situations, the places that are dangerous in the Philippines. And now I am going to give you some of the dangerous animals that you have to avoid when you are visiting the Philippines. Hey, it's me, Beauty! As you may know, the Philippines is home to a variety of unique native animals. These creatures are often beloved by locals and tourists for their striking appearances and enduring behaviors. Unfortunately, some of them can also pose a threat to humans, particularly if we don't take the necessary precautions when interacting with them. Crossing paths with wild animals can be exciting and exhilarating, but it comes with its fair share of risks. Uninformed or unprepared visitors may find themselves in situations where they're in danger from local fauna. To keep yourself and your loved ones safe when exploring nature, watch on to discover the most dangerous animals as well as how you can stay out of their way while visiting national parks and other areas. I'm gonna give you the 7 most dangerous animals you might encounter during your visit to the Philippines. Titan triggerfish. You can find the formidable and aptly named Titan triggerfish lurking beneath the surface of the seas all around the Philippines. This fish can grow to enormous lengths and is, for the most part, a rather solitary creature. However, they are also the scourge of divers and swimmers in the Philippines because of their aggressive nature. The Titan triggerfish, while not a venomous sea creature, can still cause a lot of damage if they decide to attack. They have incredibly large, sharp teeth, which they can use to deliver a very painful bite. They are known for being particularly territorial and aggressive towards other sea creatures and humans. Divers often run into trouble against the Titan triggerfish when they cross into marked territory. If you encounter one of their nests, swim away in a direct line and towards the surface for your best chance at avoiding an unpleasant meeting. These creatures usually build their nest on a flat, sandy area among corals. Defensive with their territory, these fish can show aggression, especially during mating season. If you're diving and you find a colorful triggerfish smiling at you, it's best to go away immediately as the fish can chase you and give you a painful bite. And despite their reputation with divers, triggerfish actually play a significant role in the survival and growth of coral reefs. They help clean up the ocean and protect the coral reefs. The yellow-lipped sea kite, which is a sea snake. The snake has a distinctive black stripes and a yellow snout, with a paddle-like tail for use in swimming, and is an extremely venomous species. Yellow-lipped sea kites are attracted to light and can be distracted by artificial sources of light, including hotels and other buildings on the coast. You'll be pleased to know that these sea snakes aren't intended to be aggressive towards humans, and people do scuba diving with them all the time. But if they feel threatened, then they will attack. The venom of a yellow-lipped sea kite is said to be 10 times more deadly than the venom of a rattlesnake. Imagine? In a single bite, a yellow-lipped sea kite can give more than 12 times the venom needed to kill a human. They generally don't recognize humans as prey or predators, so they avoid swimmers and divers and rarely bite them. But once you got bitten by it, symptoms include headaches, sweating, vomiting, body aches, muscle stiffness, and eventually paralysis. So if you see one of these here in the Philippines, just watch them and don't try anything stupid. Blue-ringed octopus. Unlike a common octopus, these can be deadly to humans and they can be found living in the sandy bottoms and coral reefs of Samal Island, Palawan, and other diving spots in the Philippines. This octopus has a lifespan of around a year and a half, and it's the most venomous and deadliest octopus in the world. Despite its small size, it carries enough venom to kill 26 adult humans within minutes. Their bites are tiny and often painless, and many people don't even realize they have been bitten. The venom can result in heart failure, heart attacks, paralysis, blindness, and death. Aside from its bright blue rings, the blue-ringed octopus is also known for their potent toxin used for hunting and attacking when sensing danger. This small mollusk, which is only about the size of a human hand for the biggest, is packed with two types of toxins, one for hunting and the other for self-defense. The blue-ringed octopus ejects a harmful toxin that could paralyze and kill a human adult in mere minutes. It is 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide. 1 milligram of it can kill a person. An average-sized blue-ringed octopus has enough venom to kill 26 full-grown adults. What's worse is that there is no known antidote. You may have guessed it, but the blue-ringed octopus has distinctive blue rings on its body and on its 8 arms, which is a warning coloration which it will show when it's attacked. The full warning display is bright yellow with blue rings or lines, so keep your distance when you see one. Don't be blinded by its beauty. Looks can be deceiving, just like your chatmate who is full of filters and makeup in her pictures. Our top 4 is box jellyfish. Jellyfish are common in the Philippines. Some don't pose any threats, and some are extremely dangerous if you come into any sort of trouble with them. These animals pulse along ocean currents and are abundant in cold and warm ocean water, in deep water, and along coastlines. Most recently, they have been found in Palawan. What makes jellyfish so dangerous are their tiny stinging cells in their tentacles, which are used to stun or paralyze their prey before they eat them. If you come into contact with them and you get stung, their stings, which contain venom, are extremely painful and life-threatening. We don't want to go spoiling anyone's day in the crystal clear waters of El Nido or Siargao, but this one's got to be up there with the most dangerous animals in the Philippines. Yes, an estimated 20 to 40 people die every year in the archipelagos around the Malay Peninsula from box stings, which is one of the highest rates of fatality anywhere in the world, including Australia. Box jellies grow to measure up to 8 inches across and usually have a sort of strange translucent glow about them. That's one of the most irritating things since they're very difficult to spot in the light blue of the tropical sea waters. The thing that you want to watch out for is the wisp-like stinger that drifts behind the animal itself. They are what contains the poisonous stinger cells which latch onto any skin that it happens to come in contact with. The most dangerous types of box jellies are all in the Indo-Pacific region. Yes, the home of the Philippines. They have a venom that attacks the nervous system and cause complete heart failure. Those that survive a sting have reported feeling pains for weeks on end after the incident. These are the places where you can find box jellyfish: Sibuanga, Cebu; Malalag, Davao del Sur; Lingayen, Pangasinan; Karamuan, Camarines Sur; Subic, Zambales; Anilao and Nasugbu, Batangas; and of course, as mentioned earlier, you can also find box jellies in Siargao and Palawan. Surviving a sting warning: don't pee on it. We've been taught that peeing on the area where you've been stung is the best first aid treatment. Most people here believe that it helps with sea urchin stings too, but recently found out that it only activates the venom, the poisonous hair-like particles that attach automatically to your skin once you've been hit by a box jelly is chemically activated, meaning the age-old secret of pee as a cure won't work. In fact, it will only make it worse. So here's a tip: always bring a bottle of vinegar when hitting the beach. You'll never know when you might need it. The best possible first aid before rushing the victim to the emergency is to clean the affected area with salt water to remove the remaining particles. Soak it in vinegar after to at least alleviate the excruciating pain of box's sting. It also deactivates the nematocysts from further damaging the body. When you're planning to go to the beach, first thing that you should do is ask the locals if there have been jellyfish sightings around the area. If yes, make sure to ask which type. Is it dangerous or not? Many locals for sure would know by now how a box jellyfish looks like. But just in case they don't, take another look at this photo for reference. Our top 3 is the Philippine cobra. Also commonly known as the northern Philippine cobra, as these snakes can be found mainly in northern regions and can also be found on the islands of Mindoro, Catanduanes, and Masbate. This snake is stocky in build, and the average length of this snake is 3 feet long, but they have been known to grow over 5 feet. Philippine cobras can live in forested regions including open fields, grasslands, dense jungle, agricultural fields, and human settlements, and also near water in ponds, lakes, rivers, and even large puddles. The venom of this species of snake is one of the most dangerous snake venoms in the world. These snakes are capable of accurately spitting their venom at a target up to 3 meters or 9.8 feet away. The symptoms of a bite might include headache, vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, dizziness, and difficulty breathing. The death rate from cobra bite was estimated to be as high as 107.1 deaths per 100,000 population per year at one site. Most victims were young, median age 17, and 98% were males. Be careful. Only 8% of the victims studied reach a hospital. Our top 2 is mosquito. Mosquitoes might not be something that you associate with being dangerous, as they are commonly found in hot climates across the world. But what makes them dangerous is that they carry different viruses and diseases. Zika virus is one, dengue fever is another one, malaria, chikungunya. Those are the most common mosquito-borne diseases in the Philippines, and there is currently no vaccine for either. Well, there is really before the dengue vaccine, but they banned it. Some people get symptoms like a rash, high temperature, headache, or muscle aches for a few days. Dengue fever symptoms typically begin 3 to 14 days after infection. Recovery generally takes 2 to 7 days. The number of deaths from dengue fever ranges from 1,000 to 2,000 per year. Zika virus, most dangerous to women who are pregnant or planning to become pregnant. The Zika virus poses a threat as the parasite can cause major birth defects. Although the Philippines is listed as an area of risk for the Zika virus on the CDC website, like malaria, it is the rural valley areas that pose the most risk, as the mosquitoes that transmit the disease don't live above 2,000 meters. As there are no vaccines for these viruses, it's important to keep yourself safe by using mosquito nets, insect repellent, mosquito band, and wearing long sleeve tops and trousers. And our top 1, the man's best friend. Yes, dogs. But here in the Philippines, stray dogs. Because stray dogs are good as wild animals. They are not tamed, they are not as friendly as you think of a man's best friend. They are not trained. They aren't vaccinated either. They bark, they chase, and attack strangers. In the rural areas especially, you walk at night and expect to be chased by stray dogs. One dog barks, then all dogs in the neighborhood will bark and gather to chase you. I put this as the top 1 because dogs are the most common animal that humans interact with all over the world. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, it is considered dangerous. It's estimated that there are 12 million stray dogs around currently living in the Philippines. 12 million! Let's just put that into perspective for a moment. That's 6 times the population of Manila. It's the same population of Moscow. They're so common here that we have a special word for them, ascals, short for asong kalye, or it translates directly to stray dogs. It refers to the indigenous type of canine that's found all over the country. Not only can stray dogs sometimes be aggressive and vicious, meaning that they may put you at risk of injury. And they can also carry a number of diseases, including rabies. In fact, rabies is an unfortunate rampant disease in the Philippines, with the majority of cases coming from the country's dogs. In the Philippines, it is estimated that there are 317,000 people who are bitten by dogs annually, and around 200 to 300 deaths due to rabies annually, despite availability of vaccines and treatment for dog bites. We'd recommend keeping a safe distance from any stray dogs you encounter. Travelers thinking about going to more rural parts of the country or working with dogs while traveling the Philippines should also be certain to get that rabies vaccination up to date. So that's about it for today's video. You'll be fine here. Just take a bunch of take care or safe travels. I hope this video will be useful to you for your upcoming trip to the Philippines. I'll see you in my next video.